What's good, my people? It's early in the morning. It's cold as hell in Houston today. We're getting our little December weather in. You know, it's probably gonna warm up right after Christmas. But either way, man. So for the people that don't know, I used to be a sex addict. I had sex with all these women, like different countries, been around the world. But in response, when I be listening to people talk about body count, like especially when you got body count with women and men, they be like, "Nah, I ain't worried about a woman body count." I'd be like, "Why not?" And the thing that I can talk about, especially from a man perspective, because I dated women, and what people don't know is when you a sex addict, you attract other sex addicts. So the women that I was attracting in my sex addiction, they were sex addicts too. So when I finally didn't want to be a sex addict no more, I, talked to God about it and, released my sex addiction. When I was start looking for a wife, I used everything that I learned in my sex addiction. I learned everything from the different women that I was dating, culturally, and all of that. I incorporated all of that. And when I look at body counts, the questions that I ask as a sex addict is, well, okay, if you got a high body count, then what did you learn? If you was out here hoeing, what did you learn? So for men, I always ask, I was like, okay, you a sex addict, you just like me, because mostly a lot of sex addict men come talk to me because I was open about my sex addiction in my book. They say, man, how'd you do it? I say, I took everything I learned and I incorporated it and found the woman that I was looking for. But what I be asking other sex addicts is, what did you learn from your sex addiction? What did you learn? When you had this drug addiction, when you had alcohol addiction, what did you learn? Like, it be men out there, you've been a sex addict for 15, 20, 30 years, 40 years, some people, and you still ain't gave a woman an orgasm. You still don't know how to give no woman an orgasm. You know how to turn a woman on body-wise, senses-wise, but you don't know how to get into her mind. You don't know how to make her feel good without penetration. Like, I've seen it. So, and then what I find out when I'm dealing with women's sex addicts, I'll be like, so what did you learn from your addiction? And why I think it's problematic, especially for me dating a sex addict that ain't learned nothing. Like, what if your last dude got you into some weird sex shit? I don't do weird sex shit. Like, I'm not trying to hit my girl, my wife in the ass and shit. I'm not trying to do nothing like that. I don't do no butt stuff. So if a woman in her sex addiction messed with a man and they was doing all of that, well, guess what? If she liked it, she still gonna want it. But she gonna want me to do it. It's not something that you could just turn off as a sex addict. There was a lot of things in my sex addiction that I was willing to let go of. Like porn, things like that, I was willing to let go of that. So I be trying to figure out, what did you learn? Like, and if you got a woman with a high body count and she didn't learn anything from her sex addiction, she opened up her legs from anybody that say hi, she ain't learned nothing from her sex addiction. What if the sex ain't good and she a sex addict? You like, God damn, dog, you are a corpse. You don't move your hips, you don't know how to do nothing. But you a sex addict. So you telling me you didn't learn nothing. You just laying on your back letting dudes come in you. What did you learn? You ain't learned nothing from being a sex addict. You were just collecting body counts, not learning a goddamn thing. So you don't even know how to provide pleasure to your husband when you get into a relationship. Like, so you was just letting people have sex with you and you ain't learned nothing from that? You learn how to turn a man on? You learn how to, like, some people know how to sensually turn a man on, but in a marriage, you got to turn somebody on that you've been knowing for 6 years, broski. You're going to have to use some different tricks. That sensual stuff going to have to go on out the door. You have to learn a little bit more about how to turn a man on sexually when sensual doesn't work. when you done pissed him off and sex just won't do? Or how do you get your man back into a mood? Because you didn't learn nothing when you was a sex addict. When I talk to men, I'm like, hold on. So you didn't learn anything about intimacy during your sex addiction. And especially when I counsel men, these dudes got a lot of problems with intimacy. Anytime like a woman want to cuddle, they think it's sex time. I'm like, hold on, dog. What did you learn from your sex addiction? Did you feel that every time a woman touch you, it's time to have sex? Or did you learn that sometimes I just need to chill with her and find out where her mind is? This is what I be trying to figure out when people be talking about their sex addiction. I'm like, hold on. So you didn't learn anything at the time you was having sex? You was just humping on women, or you was just humping, letting men hump on you? You didn't learn shit? Like, what's your point, dog? So to my sex addicts out there, what I got to say to you is, what did you learn from your experience? What was the root cause of why you were having sex with all them damn people? That's a good question to ask. What brought you to the point of why you were having sex with all of these people? Me, I got addicted to certain things. I got addicted to the way that women looked at high heels. I got addicted to the way the woman looked at panties. I got addicted to the way the woman moaned. And that stuff, like right there, it'll keep you in bondage, dog, because you be chasing. Oh man, I wonder what she look like with her panties on. Ooh, man, I wonder what she sound like. She got a sweet voice. I wonder what she moan like. Ooh, I need to find out. And so for me, I had to stop chasing foolish aspirations. Like, to me, that shit became foolish. I was like, okay, if I want a wife, I'm going to have to look way more. I'm going to have to adapt some intimacy into my life. So when I gave up my sex addiction, I started breaking myself from my sex addiction, because it doesn't happen overnight. I started I was at a point where I stopped. I said, I'm not having sex with any more women that I don't consider to be a wife. If you not wifey material, I'm not even having sex with you. I'm just going to throw you into the friend category immediately. So that was one thing that I adapted. Another thing I adapted was my foolish aspirations of the things that I was chasing during my sex addiction. Like I just told you, the panties, the moaning, all that stuff. I had to give up that thing and start seeing women as humans, and I started having conversations with women. I started talking to women and start seeing what the hell they were going through and why they were acting the way they were acting. I was like, damn, I was really contributing to that, man. It was a lot of factors where I had to look at myself and say, okay, well, you're going to have to change in order for you to find a wife, because you're not going to be able to find a wife moving like you moving. And so, bro, it's a lot of personal responsibility that goes into breaking a habit. Because being in a marriage, you got to please one person a whole bunch of times, as opposed to pleasing somebody one time, and then y'all get on up out of each other's face. Like, you can provide an orgasm to a woman today, but that orgasm 5 years from now, if y'all staying together, is going to change, because she might desire you because she don't know you sexually in the beginning. But when somebody know you sexually, it just be different. So you're going to have to learn some intimacy, especially for men. You're going to have to learn intimacy, because that's not naturally what we come with. So a lot of things that I had to learn, man, dealing with sex addiction, man. And I feel men also, and women, what did you learn from your sex addiction? What did you aspire to change about your sex addiction? How are you getting out of the sex addiction? What are you doing? What are you doing? How are you handling it? So this is what I want to come and talk about. Like, I want to speak about my sex addiction and expose myself and the people that I've counseled in the past on the things that they are struggling with their addictions. A lot of people don't even know that they're sex addicts. They just be having sex with people and they don't even consciously know that they're sex addicts. You have to say this. This is why when you go to therapy and counseling and addiction classes, they always say, hi, my name is so-and-so, and I'm an alcohol addict. I'm a sex addict. They have to do that because you don't let yourself off the hook. You're still an addict because you have adapted it into your life. Whatever you adapt into your life, and at one point you start to like it, well, guess what? It's in there now. It's part of your intellectual property. It's part of what your mind has said, oh, okay, that's the new normal now. I like that. I like the feeling of that. So you have to break your mind and transform your mind back to a state of where you did not think like that. So peace out, man. I just want to give y'all some tips for people who might be dealing with sex addiction or any other type of addiction, man. You have to find some ways to break that addiction and find some healthy habits. So peace out.